Hey, welcome back to week 2 of Boy Meets Girl. I hope that week 1 was a really engaging conversation around dating and helped you to really think through whose values influence the way I date, culture or the Bibles. We want to do the same thing this week, but this week we're talking about marriage. If you are married, if you might be married one day, if you have been married, then you know that marriage is a big deal. Here's what gets tricky with marriage. The way that our culture views marriage and the way the Bible views marriage aren't always the same. And so as married couples, here's what we want to do. We want to have a marriage that reflects God's plan for that covenant promise relationship. And so the scripture that we looked at is really interesting. It's from what's called a household code. And in the first century, in the Greco-Roman world, there would be these household codes or expectations of behavior. And the Roman household codes would flow one way. Power would just go down. So the husband would basically be in charge and everyone obeyed him. The household codes that the authors of the New Testament wrote were intentionally different because they were trying to reflect God's plan for relationships. And specifically in marriage, when you read it, it starts with wives submit to your husbands, right? And so listen, that can be kind of offensive in today's society because what about if men lord that over and are women property? Listen, that's not what the Bible is saying at all. Because if you keep reading, look at what it tells the husbands. It says, husbands, love your wives the way that Christ loved the church. The ultimate responsibility for submission is actually on the husbands because they are called to sacrifice everything that they can so that their wife can be in as good a position as she possibly can. Both parties, husband and wife, are called to love each other sacrificially. That's what a godly marriage is built on. So man, how do we do that? Listen, for most of us, it might just be going back to week 1 in our marriage relationships. You don't love each other sacrificially because you don't date and have fun together. That's actually sacrificial love, sacrificing time with kids, sacrificing money, sacrificing opportunities to sleep if you have young children. That's important. That is sacrificial to give that up to date each other. And so as married couples, we really just want to take an honest look at our marriages. How are we submitting to one another? How are both parties in the relationship, male and female, coming together in a way that is saying, I'm going to put you first because I love you? That is a healthy marriage, and that's what God's called us to do. So let's talk about it this week. How do we love each other sacrificially? Let's do it.